Welcome to my channel. I just want to start off by saying, please excuse my mic issues. My first YouTube video based on the division, and video's probably not gonna be that good, and audio is gonna be shit. But maybe I'll get some new equipment soon. But what I wanted to do is start a new video to help you guys out. So here we go. Okay, so this video is for some of the new players that are coming back to the division, and for some of the current uh, players that are brand new. This video is here to show you how to get started and at least playing the game. If you already come back and you're not sure what you're doing, basically what I want to do is make this a quick tutorial on how to basically cause damage to your enemy, whether it's another player or whether it's enemy in the free world
We got a golden ticket, didn't we?
So
Like the
we're going
fucking
to talk
A's
about
all over
talents, and we're
again.
going to talk about critical hit chance
But what I wanna
and
know
critical hit damage.
is this.
And the talents, what I'm referring to is the talents on your gun. So we're going to talk about talents on your gun. So we want to make sure that we roll certain talents for PvP, and we want to roll certain talents for PvE. So PvE, we want to do something nice and quick, and we want to actually roll our talents for destructive and ferocious on every gun, just to make things nice and simple. Whatever the third talent is, just leave it as it is, and you'll learn as you go. For PvP, you want to basically roll your talent for uh, deadly and responsive. Deadly and responsive, and those will help you get a good damage increase in your on all your weapons. So roll that for all your weapons for right now. There are so many other things you can roll your weapons for, but what I want to do is just give you something to start with, especially since the global event is right around the corner, and you want to have you want to be able to cause damage to either another player or another enemy right off the bat. So this will basically get you up and running right off the bat to just come in there and start shooting stuff. So let's just get into it. As you go through these pieces of gear, these weapons, you'll see the talents are ran for certain things, and you'll have three talents each, and you only can change one. So if you already have deadly for PvP, you want to change one of the other talents, preferably the free talent, to responsive. Then you have to always make sure that none of the numbers show up in red, because that means that that talent won't be active. And if that talent isn't active, then you won't be putting out the extra damage that the talent provides. So for PvE, well, let's just talk about PvP for one quick second. So for PvP, you want to try to get guns that already either have deadly or they already have responsive on it, and then you roll for the other. So if your gun already has deadly, roll it for responsive. If your gun already has responsive, roll it for deadly. For PvE, you're looking for destructive and ferocious. Ferocious is the strongest talent in the game for enemies in the game. So what you want to do, if you get a gun that has destructive, roll it for ferocious. If you get a gun that has ferocious, roll it for deadly. If you get one that already has both, you're set. I'm not going to talk about rolling the third talent for you because, like I said, this is supposed to be a quick tutorial to get you up and running real quick and have a gun that does damage. So the idea is this: after you do that, you'll have a gun that does a lot of damage, and now you want to stack your critical hit chance and damage. You want to do that on your armor. So go to the recalibration station and roll critical hit damage on every piece of armor you can to increase your critical hit damage, which you want above 100%. Mine usually runs around 124, 136%. And then you want your critical hit chance above 30. So anything between 30 and 50 is good. Higher is great, but that's hard to do. So you're gonna roll those. You're gonna have those on your gun. I'm gonna show you how to do it in this video, where I walk you through. I'm just gonna basically just show you the settings, so you can just keep changing them and then go in and check them. So the other thing is that we want to make sure that we that we mod our weapons correctly. So you want to mod your weapons for critical hit chance and damage, especially if it's a submachine gun. Submachine guns come with high stability, so you don't have to worry about adding any stability mods. Or if you're running Striker, Striker comes with stability added to armor. But the idea is to run submachine guns with critical hit chance and damage. Some people will do that with their M4s. Problem is that it's at times a little unstable, except for if you're running Striker build. Okay, let's take a look at some of my other gun talents. You'll notice that some of them will have brutal, some of them will have ferocious on them. I'm moving through them kind of fast, but some will have ferocious and destructive on them. And I have different talents on different guns. I'm just gonna scroll through them really fast. You can pause the video or whatever, but you'll notice that some of mine have destructive and ferocious and deadly on them. That's mostly basically a PvE weapon. Deadly might work in PvP, but overall it's a PvE weapon, especially this UMP 45. I like to use this sometime with my shield build, my FNC defensive build. You'll find sometimes I'll put it on an M4 too. I'll use a secondary to a submachine gun. That one also has destructive and ferocious on it, and you'll see my mods. You'll see that there's a lot of critical hit chance and damage. Self-preserve is a good one because it'll heal me as I'm shooting someone. Some of the ones you'll see is great. They're grayed out, and the numbers are in red because that talent is not active with this build. My build is mostly ran for stamina. It's a striker build. A lot of people like to run vicious, but I don't do it. I run for PvP anyway. I run deadly and responsive mostly. It does a lot of damage on mostly any weapon. If you want to get a good weapon, choose something like the PP-19 and put deadly and deadly and responsive on it, and throw some critical hit chance and damage mods and go into PvP mode and see what it does. Okay, so for your skills, you want to run overdose. Especially if you're just in PvP for survivability. And you might want to run an immunizer. Immunization, where the immunizer bag basically removes the predator mark bleed. You can step in and out of it. Don't just stand in it. It won't just definitely take away the bleed, but it'll also, mitigate some damage from fire turns and also from shock turns. So you want to put that down a lot. You'll find a lot of PvP players are using it. If you're running PvE, you might want to use, maybe a sentry with wildfire, or maybe something like, with a pulse, and that might help you out. Your talents. If you're playing in PvP, you want to have something like on the move, adrenaline, and critical save. Those are good talents to roll. And if you're going to run something with a sentry, you want to put on wildfire. And that's under your abilities and talents. So that's just to make it simple for right now. Okay, so I'm just going to move through a couple of these so you can basically see what some of them are, what some of them do. And you can read them, you can pause them, or you can always go back into the game and take a look at them yourself. But precision is a good one too. But depending on what gameplay I'm using, I'll choose a specific one. But I gave you specific ones so that you don't have to do a lot of thinking about it, and you can just basically just get into the game. So right now I'm just going to go through my armor so you can see how my armor is ran with critical hit chance and damage. I recalibrated this to set these settings. Some of them I added health to, but the rest I'll add critical hit chance and damage. One thing to keep in mind is if you're using a glove, the glove can be ran for extra damage for a particular weapon. So if you're using a submachine gun, you want to roll it for submachine gun damage. If you're using a assault rifle, you want to run it for assault rifle damage. So basically, my settings for my character set, weapons damage, health regen, which is really important, um, max health, and armor. Your health regen is how much health you get per second once your health kicks in after 5 seconds after you stop taking damage. So the idea is if you can look at some of the way I ran some of the striker gear, you'll see how a good way to run it. If you notice my stability is pretty good, plus 35% because striker builds actually offer that. You're not going to get that in a lot of other builds. 12% SMG damage. Some of these other settings, don't really matter a whole lot. They just have in case, from some of my roles and some of my other settings I just happen to do. Skill haste is always pretty good. But that overdose, that's what it does. Gives you an overheal, extra health. Put down the immunizer bag below it, and it'll give you an overheal most up to 150% if you're already at 100, or it'll take you straight to 100 if you're like at half. So that's pretty much it, and I just want to give everybody, that's coming to the division or anybody that's getting ready for the global event, something quick to jump into if you don't understand a lot of the settings. I didn't explain a whole lot. I just told you something that you could do instead of just running around with, stuff you're just putting on that you think's good. So there's something to go by. You can leave questions and comments, in the forum below. Maybe I can answer them, or someone else from, the division community can help you out as well and try to answer some questions for you. Maybe make some other suggestions. This is just something to get you started so that you're not lost. Happy gaming.
If you don't think the